When love refused to let go. What should you do? This is the true life story of Jackson and Esther.
Welcome to African Folktales by Big Mark, where timeless stories come to life. Each tale is more than just a story, it's an experience. So sit back, relax, and let the magic unfold.
In the town of Borneo, under the wide skies of Southern Rivers State, lived a young man named Jackson. His dreams were as tall as the ancient Iroko tree in the village square. From a poor family, he had seen struggle wear down many men, but he swore poverty would never wear him down. It was at University of Port Harcourt, while studying mechanical engineering, that Jackson met Esther. Her name meant star, and she carried it in every smile, every gentle word. While many girls mocked his worn-out shoes and frayed shirts, Esther saw something else, his spirit. She would say to him, "Jackson, when you speak of engines and machines, your eyes burn like fire. One day, that fire will light up our world." She sold handmade beads and food after lectures just to support herself. Slowly, she began supporting him too. When he couldn't afford textbooks, she bought them. When he fell sick, it was her medicine she bought and her care that nursed him back. Their love was quiet, strong like the deep roots of a baobab tree. When he graduated, he took her hand and whispered, "I have nothing, but will you walk life with me?" Esther smiled and nodded. "We will build everything together." They married in a small ceremony, with nothing but borrowed clothes and dreams larger than life. Graduation came, and then 7 long, dry years. No job. No income. Friends drifted away like dry leaves. Even family members stopped answering calls. Every morning, Jackson dressed averagely but neat. He knocked on company gates in Trans-Amati area of Port Harcourt. Every evening, he returned home with dust on his shoes and disappointment in his eyes. But Esther. She stayed. She sold her jewelry, braided women's hair, even borrowed money to keep food on their table. Neighbors whispered, "Why is she still with that useless man? Is love food?" But every night, Esther knelt beside their bed and prayed, "Oh God, remember your son Jackson. Lift his head." Even when her own parents called her foolish, she replied softly, "I married his soul, not his pocket." One dusty Tuesday afternoon, as Jackson sat quietly under an almond tree, his phone rang. A multinational company in Port Harcourt, Bridges Engineering Limited, had reviewed his old application. They wanted to interview him the next day. 2 weeks later, Jackson wore a crisp suit, tailored for him by Esther, and stepped into an office that would soon change his life. He was offered a position as senior mechanical engineer, with a salary that could wipe away 7 years of tears. Their lives transformed overnight. They moved into a large duplex in Gulf Estate. Bought cars. Their table overflowed with food. Friends who had forgotten his name suddenly remembered. Invitations, meetings, and parties rolled in. But as money flowed, so did temptation. It started small. Colleagues invited him to after-work drinks. He'd come home late but still smile. Then the clubs started. The expensive wines, the new suits, the flirtatious laughs of women who didn't know his struggles, and didn't care. Esther would wait patiently, his dinner covered, warm water in the flask for his bath. Sometimes he returned at 2 a.m. Sometimes not at all. When she asked gently, "My husband, where were you?" he waved it off. "Work, meetings, don't stress me." He forgot their anniversaries. He forgot how to hold her hand. But Esther. She didn't scream. She didn't pack her bags. She knelt down every night. "Oh God, return my husband to me." Jackson's escapades grew wild. He rented apartments for other women. Took trips to the US with them. Esther's friends told her, "You're wasting your life. Leave." She simply smiled and said, "He's still my husband. And where there's life, God can restore." One Friday night, Jackson met Vanessa. Tall, skin smooth as silk, eyes that sparkled like midnight stars. He was enchanted. She promised him pleasures he'd never known. That night, they checked into Golden Vine Hotel. The music played low. Perfumes mixed in the air. As Jackson leaned to kiss her, her eyes turned red. Her tongue split into two. Her beautiful hands became scales, and before his eyes, her body lengthened into a giant python, hissing with fangs dripping venom. Jackson screamed louder than he ever had in his life. He tore through the hotel hallway in boxers, barefoot, banging on doors. Guests screamed. Receptionists called security. He fled into the night, trembling, sweat soaking his skin like rain. He didn't know how he reached home. At 4 a.m., barefoot and shaking, he knocked on the door. Esther opened it, eyes wide with surprise. Without a word, she led him inside, fetched warm water, bathed him gently like a child, and set hot jollof rice on the table. No questions. No accusations. Just silent, deep love. That night, Jackson sat at her feet, tears falling freely. Esther, I have wronged you. I have wronged God. Please, forgive me. She smiled and touched his cheek. I forgave you every day you left, my husband. Now let us rebuild. The next morning, Jackson called his office and resigned from all side projects and social clubs. He called his side chicks, disassociated and earned them never to call him again. You must avoid me, he echoed. He stopped coming home late. He returned home fully, faithfully. He and Esther prayed together every morning and night. Months passed, and their love deepened like never before. They traveled together, laughed again, and danced under the rain like teenagers. Years later, they had a son. His name is Michael, Mickey as Esther often called him. They opened the Esther and Jackson Foundation, supporting struggling couples and poor students in Borneo and Port Harcourt. People often asked Esther, why didn't you leave him when he cheated and abandoned you? She'd smile and reply, because love that is true doesn't throw people away. It waits. It prays. And when the prodigal returns, it embraces. Jackson and Esther lived into old age, holding hands, whispering secrets, smiling under the stars. Their love story became a legend. A tale parents told their children, never abandon the one who stood by you when you had nothing. What lesson did you learn from Jackson and Esther's story? Would you have waited like Esther? Or walked away? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more heart-touching African folktales. Until next time, may love that endures find you.
This is the end of the story. Every story holds a seed of wisdom, and with each story, we grow a little deeper into the roots of our culture. If today's tale sparked a thought or touched your spirit, don't just keep it to yourself, share it. Let the story travel. Hit that subscribe button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let me know which lesson stood out to you. I'm Big Mark, keeping the fire of storytelling burning bright. Until the next tale, stay wise, stay proud, and keep listening.